the Bunn. Welcome to the channel. This here is Baritone Obsessed. This is a show all about guitars that are a whole bunch longer for going a whole bunch lower. Today we're going to be taking a look at the PRS SE Mushok. A little bit of a sleeper baritone, a little bit shorter of a baritone than regular. We're going to look at two different models, a 2009 model and a 2012 model. We're also going to swap the pickups in the 2012 model. That model was generously lent to us by Anthony Poto. Today's episode is brought to us by everybody with me over at Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you very much to everybody with me over there, and the links are down below if you'd like to get involved yourself. Before we get into the guitars, the tones that we're going to be using as examples for these guitars, same tone for every single pickup configuration. And that tone is a HELIX preset from the Venn's Bunn Sonics HELIX pack, which you can find that awesome pack down below. The signal path of that preset consists of a system gate, overdrive, inline gate, amp, cab, and EQ. Very simple. There is no post-processing in the DAW on any of these guitar tones. The PRS SE Mushoks that we're looking at are a 2009 and 2012 model. These models were made in Korea between 2008 and 2014. The materials are a mahogany body with a maple neck and an ebony fretboard. These are set neck construction with 27.75 inches in scale. They are solid body string through bridge designs with humbucker pickups. This here is a 2009 model. I bought this new in Canada from Long & McQuade, and it was about $650 new. At the time, it was one of the few longer baritones available with passive humbuckers. The LTDs were available at the time, but they were forever 27 inches in scale. They're still 27 inches in scale. ESP, what are you doing? The Ibanez RGI B6 would not see release until 2014. I switched the pickups in my Mushok to Seymour Duncan SH8 Invaders. My thinking at the time was I don't like pedals and I wanted to shortcut using any kind of pedals other than a tuner. In the end, it didn't work out and I still had to use a tube screamer and a gate and all that kind of stuff. I ended up using modelers in the end. The Invaders are really hot, loose, and lack articulation, but you can listen to it yourself and determine for yourself. The Invaders that I installed are not Trembucker or F-spaced, if you will, but that's ultimately what you would be looking for if you want to change the pickup. The DiMarzio Titans that we'll be putting into the 2012 model are in fact F-spaced. This 2012 model, how does it differ from the 2009? The main difference is that the actual neck is set lower into the body at the pocket, which in the end is a more comfortable feeling play. So I find the 2012 model more comfortable to play than the 2009 model. The difference is minor, but I can feel it right away. Otherwise, the neck profiles feel the same, the bodies are cut the same, the weight of the guitars feels the same. Across all models that I've ever played, Mushoks seem to be very consistent this way. So how do the stock pickups sound and how do they compare to the other two options that I have here? We're gonna go over to the desk, we're gonna compare waveforms, do some comparisons. Let's talk about it, let's check it out. So here we are in Reaper, we've got, all three pickup recordings. This is two different parts, so let's solo this one just so you get an idea of what's going on. So that's the sort of intro kind of riff, and this is the chuggy riff at the end. And these clips are organized in the order of the stock pickup, the Seymour Duncan Invader, and the DiMarzio Titan. So what do they sound like independently first? And we're gonna go solo. This is the stock pickup. And this here is the chug part. Great. And this is the Seymour Duncan Invader. What does that sound like? And what does the chuggy part sound like with the Invader? And what does the Titan sound like in the melody section? Great. And what did the chug section sound like? I find the stock pickup very sandy sounding, the Invader sounding somewhat sandy and kind of murky, and the Titan sounding, I don't know, just like a finished guitar sound. We're gonna play all of them together to look at the graphs. So I got frequency graphs here, or frequency spectrometers. And these are the stock JS plugins that come in Reaper. I'm not sure exactly how accurate or scientific these meters are, but at least they give us some kind of a visual. And we're going to mute it at certain points in the playback to give us a snapshot of what the frequency graph is. It's a little delayed in terms of the, once you mute it and the snapshot, but gives you an idea, what's going on with the three graphs. And they're quite different. Let's do it at a different point in time. So there you go. Again, what do the graphs look like for the melody section? And unmute section. Look pretty similar, but yeah, they sound quite a bit different. The ears are the number one thing here. Do the stock pickups sound terrible? No, not at all. Do I like the stock pickups? No, not at all. Do you like them? That matters more. So if you like the stock pickups and you're like, yeah, awesome, perfect. So let's listen to what it sounds like in a playthrough sequence back to back. So what's special about the Mushok? It's kind of a sleeper. There's a lot of them out there. They show up on the used market a lot. The Mushok is a very solidly constructed Korean-made guitar. Korea is famous for making great guitars. It is a compact feeling, comfortable playing baritone that fits in a regular generic rectangular case. Teardrop cases and others may be too small. I don't have any to compare. The guitar comes with humbuckers that, despite not sounding that great, are easy to swap, and humbuckers are low noise. Most of us are going to be using this guitar with gain, so having a low noise pickup option that is easy to swap, very awesome. These guitars fluctuate a great deal on the used market, which is a benefit in two different ways. A, if you're a buyer, you may be able to find one very inexpensively for as low as $500, maybe even less. On the other side, they have been known to sell very high, you know, $1,200, $1,300. It is a guitar also that you may be able to make some money on. Looks like the trend is they're gonna escalate in price. Last huge upside of the guitar is consistency from year to year. Every Mushok I've ever played feels very similar, and the quality from year to year is very similar. Concerns. There's not many concerns. It's maybe a semi-short baritone, so it's not great for super low tuning, G1 and lower. It may not be great. It depends how you play. It depends on the material that you're playing. If you're doing the Max Brutals thing and you're only playing the first 3 frets, it's probably gonna be fine. All guitars are kind of fine there. You know, a lot of people aren't going that low, so it's great for all of those folks. Maybe the only other things are the humbuckers stock are not great and they need to be swapped, but most people are swapping the humbuckers. Most people are dissatisfied with whatever the stock humbuckers are. Thanks again to everyone with me over at Patreon and YouTube memberships. The links to that are down below. If Patreon and YouTube memberships is not your thing, but you'd still like to get involved in some kind of way, there is music available for download and stream. There is merch, all kinds of stuff, and there are creative assets, such as drum MIDI and HELIX presets. Huge thanks to everybody who has ever participated in any way, ever. If you have a Mushok, would love to hear what pickups you put in it, what you've done with it. A lot of people mod them. If you're jonesing for a Mushok, I'd love to know which model you're looking for, which finish you're looking for, and what you plan to do with it. And that really goes for anyone. What are you doing with your Mushok? What are you doing with your Mushok? What do you want to do with your Mushok? How low do you want to tune it? What kind of music do you want to play with it? Would love to know. That's it for this video. Hope you like this video, and I hope to see you in the next video.